Germany is nowadays it is good for management as well, because previously we were talking about Germany only in technical aspects. Like if we go back 3-5 years back from now, Germany was particularly famous for its technical courses and core technical research oriented stuff. But nowadays the things are changing. Nowadays more candidates are coming, particularly for management courses as well. So what do you think, if a candidate is aspiring to do his management studies in Germany, what is the future for his professional career?
I wish I can answer this question correctly. But you're right? It's becoming I would say more interesting for international students, mostly because of the advantages, of course, that it offers
Mhm.
compared to the US. The US, especially if you look at India or Pakistan or Bangladesh, or um, the US has been more of interest
Yeah.
because you don't need to learn a new language. It's more open, but nowadays, as you mentioned, Germany is getting back up,
Mhm.
and I think management. So a lot of your background is you study engineering
Mhm.
back in India, for
Yeah.
example, right? Um, and then you come to Germany and want to do like a management course. You
Mhm.
want to do an MBA, you want to do an engineering and management kind of
Mhm.
study, right? And that's usually a perfect fit because um, even though Germany is still very technical, you still
Mhm.
have a lot of engineering companies, Siemens, Bosch, a lot of Mittelstand companies, even chemical companies are very, very
Yeah.
technical, right? So they need people that have the right balance, right?
Mhm.
So that you understand the
Mhm.
technical things, but you also understand the management side. So you're more like the guy who can connect both sides.
Yeah.
And I think that is why it's getting back up again, because like they're looking for people who can understand both sides. And if you
Mhm.
come with an engineering background into management,
Mhm.
you come with an added advantage, right?
Okay.
Um, and even if you don't have an engineering background, right, but at least the management side is going back up because they need people who can really understand this both side of the table.
Oh, yeah.
But there's one thing that you mentioned. What is the future of your career if you start in management in Germany? I wish I can answer that question, um, but from my experience and discussions I've had with a lot of people, it's I think it's getting better. In the US, you see that okay, you have the CEO of Microsoft is Indian, the CEO of Google
Yeah.
is Indian. In Germany, you don't have that much, right? But I think now it's getting. I think the CEO of RB, I don't know the full name, but RB is I think they're into. I can't remember exactly where. I think he's Indian.
Uh-huh.
There is Indian on the board of Deutsche Telekom.
Ah.
Um, so it's getting better.
Mhm.
The disadvantage that international students have going climbing up the ladder
Mhm.
um, usually would be the language. Again, you see, we're
Yeah.
coming back to German, right? Because the higher you go,
Mhm.
um, you're in Germany. You cannot disrupt that fact that you're in Germany. So you need to be able to speak German. If we can be able to capture that in the number of years that we're here, that as you go up,
Mhm.
right, your German fluency is also getting better.
Yeah.
I don't think there's limits. Of course, it's still not open as
Mhm.
as the US, but
Yeah.
I think Germany is also getting there, where very soon you could see internationals also at top of companies as well.
Yeah, and is it true? Like when I was also searching for doing this comparison between technical and management thing, so when I get to know from many of the online sites, like management careers generally have a high growth rate compared to the technical careers, because technical, it's at some point of time it is stagnant, constant,
Okay.
but
Hmm.
management is quite diverse. You can switch into many different fields, from sales, marketing, business development. Like
Hmm.
even like we can take your example now,
Yeah.
and the growth is quite fast. Is it so? How much true is this?
Um, I think that's a great that's a great area here, right? Um, so the thing about it's a chicken and hen problem. So people realize, okay, this is what I need to do to go up, and then everybody wants to do that. You understand what I mean? Uh, so if you do management, you're broad. So there are a lot of stuff you can do. You can go supply chain, business management, business development, sales, as you mentioned. If you do engineering, you can go as an expert, right, into your role and your specific role.
Yeah.
But still, there's still a lot of stuff you can do. Depending on your company, you can
Mhm.
also move from there into general management.
Yeah.
Now, it's just unfortunate that the way the structures are set up now
Mhm.
encourage people actually to move out of engineering, because like there is much you can do if you're an engineer, if you are on an engineering track. But
Mhm.
of course you can become an expert in that track,
Mhm.
but there is usually not, you can't go, you can't, like, depending on the structure of the company. If I use BSF as an example, BSF is really good because what it did is they have a management track
Mhm.
and they have an expert track.
Okay.
And what they do there is they try to balance this so that not everybody wants to move out of the technical side, of the chemical side, into the management, because you need people,
Yeah.
because you need people to create those products, right?
Mhm.
um, and that is why they create these two tracks, and to reduce people crossing over, or too many people crossing over. And then
Mhm.
they try to balance that there is not much of a difference between your salary compensation.
Okay.
But of course, right, there is a cap that at some point you need to be able to have this managerial experience for you to be able to lead a diverse team, which is
Mhm.
why I think your question is coming. And then you have more possibilities on the management side.
Mhm.
But important is that if you have a strong engineering base,
Yeah.
you can switch anytime based on your
Yeah.
interest.
Exactly.
Yeah.